Hello, everyone. Welcome back. Joziah and I are so happy. We're going to tell you.
We're going to read in the rain.
We are going to read in the rain. We were reading stories, and all of a sudden it started to rain. So we came inside. So that was pretty fun. So now we're watching it rain.
Yes.
Okay. Last time when I was with you guys, I read a book about if you take a mouse to school.
Yes.
Everybody had their first day of school already, I think. So this time, we're going to read 2 more stories by that same author. Do you remember her name? We were just talking about it.
Yes.
Laura Numeroff.
Yes.
She wrote all the words to these books. It's a whole series. And the person who wrote the picture is called Felicia Bond. And Joziah really wanted me to read this one first. It's if you give a if you give a pig a pancake. If you give a pig a pancake.
Yes, pig a pancake.
And that's the name of the story.
Yes.
If you give a pig a pancake, well, I wonder what will happen. She'll want some syrup to go with it. You'll give her some of your favorite maple syrup. I wonder what's going to happen.
One day.
She'll probably get all sticky. And,
Yes.
and she'll want to take a bath. Oh, no. A bath? She'll ask for some bubbles. I think she must want to take a bubble bath. And when you give her the bubbles, she'll probably ask you for a toy. You'll have to find a rubber duck. Oh, look, she's in the toy box. That just that cracked you up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Quack.
The duck might remind her of the farm where she was born, and she might feel homesick and want to go home and visit her family. She'll want you to come too. She'll look through your closet for a suitcase. Do you have a suitcase in your closet?
No.
Me either. Then she'll look under your bed. Oh, man. When she's under the bed, she'll find your old tap shoes. And she'll try them on. And she'll probably need something special to wear with them.
Halloween? Sure.
Maybe.
I have a Halloween shirt.
Yeah, you do.
Skeleton.
When she's all dressed, she'll ask for some music. And you'll play your piano, your best piano piece, and she'll start dancing. Look at her dance.
I'm going to tell you how you dance.
Not right now. Maybe when we're done. Then she'll want you to take her picture. So you'll have to go get your camera.
And the furniture.
She's dancing with the furniture. She is, isn't she?
Yeah, that's so weird.
When she sees the picture, she'll ask you to take more.
More?
And then she'll send one to each of her friends. You'll have to give her some envelopes and some stamps. And she'll take them to her mailbox. Look at how many friends she had to send pictures to. That's a lot, right?
Yes, that's too many.
Too many. On the way, she'll see the tree in your backyard, and she'll want to build a tree house. So you'll get her some wood and a hammer and some nails, And when the treehouse is finished,
Crack.
she'll want to decorate it. And she'll ask for some wallpaper and some glue. When she hangs the wallpaper, she'll get sticky. Feeling sticky will remind her of maple syrup. And if she'll probably ask you for some. Oh no, what do you think will happen, Josiah, if she gets some maple syrup? What do you think she's going to want to do?
Get dirty.
And chances are, if she asks you for some syrup, she'll want a pancake to go with it.
These stories are great. Quack.
The end.
That's like quack.
That was a funny story, wasn't it?
Next, this one.
Next, this one.
Yes.
Let's tell everybody that we'll be right back.
We'll be right back. Bye bye.
and we're-
Bye bye.
And we're going to read Give a Moose a Muffin when we get back. Welcome back, everyone. We're here to read If You Give a Moose
A muffin.
a Muffin. You remember the story. Do you remember the author of this series of books? Laura Numeroff.
It's Jeffy in it. Joffy in it.
Yeah, Jaffe. It's Laura Jaffe Numeroff. And it's illustrated by Felicia Bond. Felicia Bond did both of the stories. Okay. Let's see what happens with this moose. If you give a moose a muffin, what do you think will happen?
She'll fall there.
Do you think he'll go in there?
Yes.
He'll want some jam to go with it.
Jam.
So you'll bring out some of your mother's homemade blackberry jam. Ooh, look, the moose looks kind of interested, doesn't she? And when he's finished eating the muffin, he'll want another, and another, and another. When they're all gone, he'll ask you to make some more. Did you ever make muffins?
No.
You'll have to go to the store to get some muffin mix. And he'll want to go with you. And when he opens the door and he feels how chilly it is, he's going to ask to borrow a sweater. I didn't even know Moose could wear sweaters. When he puts his sweater on, he'll notice some of the buttons are loose. And he'll ask you for some needle and thread. And he'll start sewing the button. And the button will remind him of the puppets his grandmother used to make. So he'll ask for some old socks. And he'll make sock puppets.
Yes.
Ever make a sock puppet? And when they're done, he'll want to put on a puppet show.
He is. Hello, I'm Mr. Bobby.
He'll need to paint some cardboard. So he'll need some cardboard and paints.
That's so funny.
Wouldn't it be funny if a moose came to your house and painted cardboard? When the scenery is finished, he'll get behind the couch, but his antlers will stick out. So he'll ask for something to cover them up. You'll bring him a sheet from your bed. I can see his antlers. Oh man, I'm having trouble with that. There we are. When he sees the sheet, he'll remember that he wants to be a ghost for Halloween. He'll try it on and shout, "Boo!" It'll scare him so much he'll knock over the paints. Oh no, this is a nightmare. So he'll use the sheet to clean up the mess. Then he'll ask for some soap to wash it out. He'll probably want to hang the sheet up to dry. He'll go outside, to put it on the clothesline.
Clothesline.
Do you know what a clothesline is?
Yes.
You do? So that's where he's going to hang this sheet. When he's out in the yard, he'll see your mother's blackberry bushes. Oh, no. Seeing the blackberries will remind her of her jam. And he'll probably ask you for some.
More.
Some jam.
More.
And chances are, if you give him some jam, he'll want a muffin to go with it.
Yes.
Wow. He will, because you like the jam.
The end.
The end. Look at all the moose tracks on the floor.
No, it's this.
Let's tell everybody.
Bye-bye.
That was a story all about moose and muffins.
Yes.
And
jam.
playing with things.
And jam.
And jam. We can't forget the jam. So when you come back, we're going to read a story about caps. Caps are kind of like hats. We'll see you in a minute. And we're back. We're back. We're going to read a story called Caps for Sale. Caps is another name for hat. I got to see what's happening in this story. I really like the pictures. That's what drew me to the book. Look there's a guy sleeping in the tree. Did you ever see a guy sleep in a tree, Joziah?
I sleep in the tree.
You've slept in a tree?
No, I haven't. Sleeping in the tree.
It says Caps for Sale is a tale of a peddler, some monkeys, and their monkey business. Oh, and Esther Slobodinka drew the pictures and wrote the words. Once there was a peddler who sold caps, but he was not like any ordinary peddler, carrying his wares on his back. He carried them on the top of his head. Oh, that is a lot of caps he's got. Look at all the caps on top of his head.
That's a lot. Oh, no,
It
no.
is. First he had his own checked cap,
10, 11, 12, 14.
then a bunch of gray caps, then a bunch of brown caps, then a bunch of blue caps, and on the very top, he had a bunch of red caps.
Wow, how many is that?
I don't know. We'll have to see when the story. He walked up and down the streets, holding himself very straight so as not to upset the caps. You know what that means? He didn't want the caps to fall off his head. As he went along, he called, "Caps, caps for sale, 50 cents a cap."
50 cents a cap.
One morning, he couldn't sell any caps. He walked up the street and he walked down the street calling, "Caps, caps for sale, 50 cents a cap." But nobody
50 cents a cap.
But nobody wanted any caps that morning. Nobody wanted even a red cap.
Or blue cap. Or yellow cap. Or another blue.
I know, right? He began to feel very hungry, but he had no money for lunch. Oh, man. "I think I'll go for a walk in the country," he said. And he walked out of town slowly, as not to upset his caps. He walked a long time until he came to a great big tree. That's a nice place for a rest, he thought. And he sat down very slowly under the tree and leaned back little by little against the tree trunk as to not to disturb the caps on his head. Yeah, he wouldn't want all the caps to fall off and go all over the place, right?
Okay, 50 cents a cap.
Then he put up his hand to make sure they were straight. And he felt his own checked cap and the gray caps and the blue caps and the red caps at the very top. They were all there. So you know what he did? He fell asleep with all his caps on his head. He slept for a long time. Oh no, what happened?
His caps disappeared.
When he woke up, he was refreshed and rested. I see a problem. Do you see any problem?
Yes.
What?
The caps flew away.
The caps, what?
Flew away.
They flew away. But before standing up, he felt with his hand to make sure his caps were right in the right place. All he felt was his own check cap. Hey, wait, he's supposed to feel brown ones and blue ones
And yellow ones.
and red ones on the very top. But he didn't feel it. So you think maybe they flew away, huh?
Yes. 50 cents a cap.
He looked to the right of him, no caps. He looked to the left of him, the other way, no caps. He looked behind him, no caps. He looked to the back of him, no caps. Oh, man. You think they flew away, huh? Then he looked up into the tree, and what do you think he saw? On every branch sat a monkey, and on every monkey sat a gray or a brown or a blue or a red cap. Oh my gosh! You know where the
They wanted them?
Yeah, I guess so. Let's find out what happens. The peddler looked at the monkeys. The monkey looked at the peddler. He didn't know what to do. Finally, he spoke to them. I wonder what he's going to say. It almost did stop raining. You monkeys, you, he said, shaking a finger at them. You monkeys, you give me back my caps. But the monkeys only shook their finger back at him and said, tss, tss, tss. Oh, man.
They said no.
This made the peddler angry. So he shook both hands at them and said, You monkeys, you give me back my caps.
Yeah, give me back my caps.
But the monkeys shook their hands back at him and said, tss, tss, tss. Now, he felt quite angry. He stamped his foot and said, You monkeys, you better give me back my caps. But the monkeys only stamped their feet back at him and said, tss, tss, tss. That's what they did exactly, Josiah. Oh my gosh. By this time, the peddler was really very, very angry. He stamped both of his feet and shouted, You monkeys, you must give me back my caps. But the monkeys only stamped both of their feet and said, do you know what they said? You're right. That's exactly what they said. You got the pattern of the story now. At last he became so angry, he pulled off his own cap and he threw it on the ground and he began to walk away. Oh no. What do you think the monkeys are going to do? But then each monkey pulled off his cap and threw it on the ground. All the gray caps, all the brown caps, and all the blue caps, and all the red caps came flying down out of the tree. So the peddler picked up his caps and put them back on his head. First he checked his own cap, then the gray caps, then the brown caps, then the blue caps, then the red caps. And slowly, slowly, he walked back into town, calling, do you know what he was saying? Caps for sale.
The end.
Caps for sale, 50 cents a cap. The end.
The end.
Do you think he sold any caps that day?
Yes.
I used to think news is news. It's all the same. But it's not. There's a big difference between local broadcast news and cable news. See, local stations are part of my community, connecting me to local news, weather, and sports on every device. It makes sense. Get the news from the people I trust who actually live here. No agenda, no bias like on cable shout shows or social media, just facts. For news I can trust, I stay local. Support your local stations. Text TV to 52886 today.
So this is our last book for this show. And it's a funny book, really. It's kind of weird, I think Joziah said. The name of the book is Growing Vegetable Soup. We didn't even know you could grow soup. This is a new story to us. We've never heard of such a thing. Lois Ehlert wrote this story. Ready? Growing vegetable soup. Dad says we are going to grow vegetable soup. That's what Dad was saying. We're ready to work, and our tools are ready too. Can you see what kind of tools these are? Josiah, do you know what this is? What kind of tool is this?
Shovel.
A shovel, yeah. And I think this is a rake. Do you know what that one is? I think it's called a hoe. And you use it in the garden. Oh, they're planting seeds. Oh, hey, you can read it underneath it. It says these are beans, and these are peas, and these are carrots.
And
It looks like this guy has a glove on, too. Do you wear gloves when you're out in the garden? And all the seeds do this.
I'll wear gloves when I'm in the garden when I'm like 86.
When you're 86, you're going to work in the garden?
Yeah.
That's a good time. And look at here, they have like all these little flowers are coming up. And vegetables. This says peppers and cabbage, tomatoes. Do you like tomatoes?
No.
No, most kids don't, actually. Oh, and giving them water. So you have to water the seeds, and that's what makes them grow. And waiting for the warm sun to make them grow. And grow. Oh, look, they're getting bigger. Everything's getting bigger. Do you see all these little sticks? Getting bigger, 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 and bigger. Is that what you were noticing? Yeah. Oh my goodness. And growing into plants. Look at all these plants. Holy moly. We watch over them and we weed until the vegetables are ready for us to pick or dig up. Oh, some vegetables you dig up, you don't pick them, huh? And carry home, and then we wash them.
I'll pick
What would you pick?
lettuce. I'll pick lettuce.
You would pick, yeah, lettuce and cabbage.
I'll pick lettuce when I'm like
92?
100.
100, wow, that's a long, they'll be pretty old. And cut them and put them in a pot of water. Oh man, look at how they cut them all up. Can you see? There's a potato that got cut and a broccoli. Oh, there's a picture of a knife. And cook them into vegetable soup. At last it's time to eat it all up. It was the best soup ever. And we can grow it again next year. We want to thank you so much for coming to read me a story. Josiah and I were really happy to have you. We'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.